We're explaining the input string was not in a correct format error in C#, specifically within the context of write single quote String.Format. This frustrating error usually pops up when you're trying to use write single quote String.Format, write single quote to insert values into a string, but something's amiss with either the format string or the values you're providing. Let's break down the common causes and how to fix them. 1. Incorrect format. Specifiers. The most frequent culprit is a mismatch between the format specifiers in your format string and the data types of the values you're trying to insert. For instance, if you have 0C, currency format, but provide an integer instead of a decimal or a string that can't be parsed as currency, you'll get this error. Make sure your specifiers like 0D for integers, 0F2 for floating point numbers with 2 decimal places, 0X for hexadecimal, 0 for general, and 0C for currency precisely match the types of your variables. 2. Type mismatches. This ties into the previous point. Ensure your variables are of the expected type. If you're using 0D, short date, and your variable is a string, not a date, it'll fail. Explicitly convert your variables to the appropriate type. For example, using write single quote convert.toint3 to write single quote comma, write single quote convert dot to double, write single quote comma, write single quote datetime.parse, before passing them to write single quote string.format. Consider using try-parse methods for safer conversion, handling potential parsing failures gracefully. 3. Missing or extra format specifiers. Double-check that the number of placeholders in your format string, for example, 0, 1, 2, corresponds exactly to the number of arguments you supply to write single quote string.format. One extra or missing argument will cause this error. Carefully count placeholders and arguments. 4. Incorrect format string. Syntax. The format string itself needs to adhere to the rules. Typos in specifiers or incorrect use of formatting characters can lead to problems. Refer to C#'s documentation on composite formatting for the detailed syntax. Pay close attention to escaping special characters if needed. 5. Null values. Attempting to format a null value with a format specifier that doesn't handle null gracefully will also throw this exception. Before formatting, check for null and handle it appropriately, perhaps by using a conditional operator. To substitute a default value or using string interpolation's $* feature for safer null handling. 6. Culture-specific formatting. The culture settings of your application can impact how numbers, dates, and currency are formatted. If you're dealing with internationalization, ensure that your format specifiers are compatible with the culture you're targeting. Use culture info to specify the culture explicitly if needed. 7. Debugging techniques. Use the debugger to step through your code, inspect the values of your variables just before they're passed, to write single quote string.format, write single quote comma, and examine the format string itself for errors. The debugger will show you precisely where the problem lies, allowing you to fix the issue quickly and efficiently. By carefully checking these aspects, you can effectively diagnose and solve the input string was not in a correct format exception when working with write single quote string.format. Write single quote in your C# projects. Remember that clear and meticulous coding practices are key to preventing such errors.